Hi, I'm Marty. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I was diagnosed in 1987. It has been almost 37 years. 37 years? Yeah, almost 37 years ago. Recently, I've changed medications. I was on Actemra, which is a once every other week for me shot that I gave myself. Um, it is a TNF inhibitor. It stops the T cells from producing because there's a protein that's attached to the T cells that causes inflammation in me. Um, it it wasn't working for me, so I took it for several years, and now I've just recently switched to Rituxan. I've already had my first and second infusions. Rituxan stops the B cells. There's some protein attached to the B cells that makes inflammation happen in people like me with rheumatoid arthritis. My autoimmune system is haywire and it thinks that I am the enemy. So it attacks my lubricating tissue for my joints and cartilage and bones and tendons. And it also attacks insides like your heart, lungs, stuff like that. You can look it up, rheumatoid arthritis. So I started the Rituxan. I gave a report last week of how it turned out, and I said I was doing pretty good. Well, they start with a IV of saline solution, give you 2 Tylenols, regular strength, so that's a total of 650 milligrams, and then they give you 25 milligrams of Benadryl in the IV. That's a lot. And so they go ahead and put that in with the IV tube. From there, they start the Rituxan, and they started it really low on the first one and bumped it up every half an hour by, I think they started it at 30 and then up to 60. I think I don't even know what the top is. Hang on, I've got it written down. 380, I think, is what the top drips per hour or something is. Anyway, first time I took it, they started the infusion with the Rituxan at about 9 a.m. They started the IV at 8:30. So by 9, they started the Rituxan, and by 11, I started to have some pretty strong response to it with hives all over my torso and neck and face. So it's okay because they came in at 11, stopped the Rituxan, gave me 25 milligrams more of Benadryl, and also 10 milligrams of dexamethasone. Dexamethasone, got the word correct this time. They call it Dexa, and that's a steroid, similar to but not the same as prednisone, which I do take 10 milligrams a day. I have since December. For another thing, I've got vasculitis in my fingers. So once they stopped the Rituxan, they brought it back gradually, and I continued to improve. The hives went away. I failed to mention that I had bone pain and an upset stomach and a headache with that. All bam at 11 o'clock on my first infusion. And that infusion didn't end until about 4 o'clock. And I left at 4:30, got home at 5, went to sleep. This time, they started the infusion they started the Tylenol, saline, Benadryl at 8:30. At 9, they started the Rituxan, and at 11, they started high. They started at 100 trips per minute. I can't remember what it was, but they started at 100, and then they'd bump it up by, I think, 50 or 75 every half hour. So I was getting quite a lot by 11 o'clock, and whoops, I started itching again. My whole torso was red and welty, and I needed to go to the bathroom. I had an upset stomach, and I had a headache, and my bones ached. So went to the restroom, checked my stomach, yeah, red welty, told the nurse, and they stopped the medicine and gave me more dexamethasone for, well, first day. Well, they gave me dexamethasone first time that day. You only get it once unless you need it more. So I got 10 milligrams of dexamethasone, and 25 more of Benadryl. Makes you really sleepy. The dexamethasone makes you feel real warm in your core. And I kind of lose my vision a little bit. The trees outside of the window turn into like just green circles instead of leaves in the trees. So that's okay because it's temporary and it's going to go away. So I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Everything gets better. This will get better. So the bone pain, the headache, the hives went away with the medication they gave me. They started me back up with a high dose of RITUXAN, and I was finished by 1 o'clock. So that was amazing. I went home. I got home by 1. Well, I think we left at 1:30. I got home at 2, and I slept till 6:30 because the Benadryl makes you really tired, and maybe the Dexa, I'm not quite sure. So I slept hard, and I'm not a napper at all. I'll rest during the day, but I rarely fall asleep. So I did that, and I thought, good. I did do something different this time that I think may have helped me tolerate it better, and that is I drank a truckload of water the day before. I drank a big bottle of Gatorade, which I don't care for, but I drank it anyway because it's got the good stuff in it. And I also drank 3 of these. I think this is 24 ounces of water. That's a lot for me. I'm only 5'1", so that's a lot of liquid. So I did that, and I think that helped me tolerate it a little better. So drink a lot of water before you get an infusion. It also makes it easier for the nurses to get a good vein. I packed differently this time. With the first time I went, I packed a backpack, and I'll tell you what all I packed in it. I have it written down here so I didn't forget. Let's see. Here we go. I packed my water bottle that I always bring with me everywhere. And I had my Kindle, and I brought a book. My niece is a author, and she recently wrote a book. There she is, Robin Huber, my niece. Lionheart is an awesome book. So I started to read this, but you can see I didn't get very far because my concentration just wasn't there. And this is big and heavy, and it was hard for me to hold up with my hands. So don't bring a big, heavy book. I did bring my Kindle, and I had downloaded a movie and some music and a really interesting, easy read book. And the first time I came, the first time I went, I only used my AirPods, and those are kind of hard on your ears. So the second time I went, I left the AirPods behind, and I brought my Bose earphones. And these are pretty handy because they fit the Kindle, but also you can use a adapter, which I have somewhere around here, a little adapter that makes it work in my iPhone too. So if I wanted to talk on my iPhone, I could use this, and that worked out fine. So that's a difference. Left the AirPods home, brought the bigger earphones, which are soft. My book on the Kindle, which was a really easy read. I'm not finished with it yet, but it was just a gentle, easy book. And then on the first time I went, I brought fuzzy socks. I didn't use them. I did bring my blanket. They have warmed blankets there, but just my home blanket makes me feel good. So I brought my blanket, and that was great. And I brought it again this time too. I froze the first time. Maybe it was a response to the medication, but I was absolutely frozen. I was shivering, and they were bringing warm blankets on top of my blanket, and I couldn't get warm. I did bring some tea bags and a metal cup because my hands don't hold well to a styrofoam cup. I can't open my hand very big to hold a styrofoam cup. So a handled cup is good for me. So I brought a metal handled cup with a lid and some tea bags, but they didn't have hot water. And they didn't have a coffee machine. It was the weirdest thing. And this is an infusion center where people with cancer go, But you know, they're only there for about an hour or two, and I was there from 8:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon the first time. So that was a long time, and it would have been really nice if I could have gotten some hot tea. But oh well, they had snacks and cold water there. I did bring my ID and my insurance, which is required, and I brought snack. I brought lunch. I brought a lunchbox with me with some coulis packs in it, and I like kind of a charcuterie lunch, so it had, I do the same thing every time, a boiled egg in a baggie with salt and pepper in it. I had some vegetables. I had some carrots, some little carrot sticks, and some mini sweet peppers. I had cheese and crackers, the little, what are those cheeses called? Got it written down someplace. Yeah, here. Cheese and crackers. The moo cow. I forgot the name of it. Oh my gosh, my brains are falling apart. Laughing cow cheese and some Triscuits. I brought a turkey stick. It's kind of like a Slim Jim, but it's turkey, so it's not that greasy stuff. And I brought some pretzels. I also had some strawberries and some sliced apple. So I really enjoyed that. I wanted something sweet and I didn't have anything. Maybe I'll bring a Built Bar or Fiber One bar next time. No, maybe not the Fiber One because that medicine upsets my stomach. So how I felt day one after the first one, I woke up with a headache every day for 7 days. My stomach was upset for 7 or 8 days. I was mildly nauseated. Tylenol pretty much fixed most of that. Like, I'd wake up with a headache, I'd take a Tylenol, and most of the time it was gone. The stomach, it was just something. I guess that's how my body deals with getting rid of the B cells that are getting killed off in my system. I couldn't sleep the first couple of nights. The first time I had my infusion. Second infusion, I've been sleeping like a baby. In fact, I came home and slept, woke up at 6 or 6:30, and went back to bed at midnight and slept till 5:30, which is my normal wake up time. I just wake up at 5:30. So I've been going to bed at around 9 or 10 and getting up at 5:30 and doing fine, sleeping all night. So that's great. The RITUXAN has left me with a little upset stomach, but it's not out of control. It's not like prepping for a colonoscopy. It's just a little, and it's okay. My stomach doesn't hurt. I'm not nauseated this time. The bone pain, I don't have any bone discomfort other than when I had the hives in the infusion center. So I just feel fine. Second time around, I guess my body's used to the new medication. Of course, the shock during the infusion made a little response, but wasn't terrible. It's just a mild response. So, what would I do different next time? I'd pack less stuff. I'm going to bring my Kindle and my earphones. I'm going to bring my water bottle and my lunch. I'm going to eat breakfast before I go. But, and I think I'll bring a cup of coffee with me in a maybe a metal cup that keeps it warm. Because I like warm drinks and they don't have any. What else would I do different? I think I'll use their blankets next time. It's just clumsy to have to carry around a blankie and a backpack and all that stuff. Whereas I could just stick this in my purse and be fine. Yeah. Anyway, that's how I'm doing today. How are you doing? Are you feeling good? So I know that I've been looking on Reddit, and people are just absolutely terrified about the medications for rheumatoid arthritis. A lot of young people are reading. See, we didn't have the advantage of computer looking up stuff. You just took the doctor's word for what he's like, take this, and you say yes sir, and you take it. Back in 1980s and 90s, until computers came out and we could Google, and now all the young people are Googling all this medication and going, oh my God, this is terrible. So they're rethinking the side effects of a lot of these biologics that they used to say were causing cancer and brain problems and this horrible stuff, and it's not happening as much as people think when they look it up and they see it in the list of the terrible things that can happen to you, because the benefits of managing your RA far outweigh any undesirable side effects of a biologic or medication or DMARD that your doctors give you for your rheumatoid arthritis. So be faithful. Take the medication and know it's going to help you. And have positive thoughts. I met someone recently that was absolutely terrified of taking prednisone and methotrexate. And those are like the two base drugs that most people with rheumatoid arthritis start out with now. Those are old, they've tried and true, and they work. They're not really great for a long term, especially the prednisone. It's bad for your bones. So, but they work, and they'll get you to a point where you are not in dire pain, that you feel like you have more control over your life. I feel good. I feel fabulous. I don't feel like I just had a major infusion 2 days ago. I went to Costco and Sam's today and walked through both of them, didn't ride the cart. Now, I'm not feeling any effects from the medication with my rheumatoid arthritis yet. They say it takes 8 to 16 weeks. I found out Tuesday when I had my infusion, 8 to 16 weeks. So I may know soon, hopefully sooner than that. Sometimes it happens, miracles happen, and I'm looking for one. So listen, you guys, don't let your disability define who you are. Like, share with a friend, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. You guys have a nice day. Love you. Mwah.